everybody's here. So in 2017, we had a master plan completed for our entire city that really started to set the vision for what was to come. And from that master plan, we moved Town Hall to Main Street. We've had about 10 businesses open up, and it was really time to revisit our master plan. So about 6 months ago, council allocated funds for us to release a request for qualifications, and we were blessed to select Bolton and Mink out of their Greenville office to lead this project and lead us through the visioning process, the branding process, for what we can look forward to for the next 10 years and beyond in West Pelzer.
And what, just in general categories, what kind of things are y'all looking at?
Absolutely. So we're looking at safety and connectivity. So where should new sidewalks be built? What about trails in West Pelzer? We're also looking at river access. So about a year ago, Town Council signed a long-term lease on property along the Saluda River. So we're going to build a park along the Saluda River. We have water recreation funds to do that with. The other things that we're looking at is just expansion of the town. What other services can local government offer? What new businesses do we need in West Pelzer to again increase quality of life? And then ultimately, what does growth look like? We know that growth will come from the Powdersville, Piedmont, Greenville areas. What does it look like for West Pelzer? Do we annex those properties in? Do we supply services to them? So we're looking at kind of a holistic approach for the future of the town.
And this is for the next, how many years are you looking at here?
So we're breaking things out into short, medium, and long-term goals. And so our short-term goals may be some low-hanging fruit. We know that we need more parking in West Pelzer. It's a great problem to have. Our businesses are booming. Where does that parking go? Is it a public parking lot? Is it a partnership? We'll have some medium-term goals that may include policy changes at the local government level. And then obviously we'll have long-term goals that may be projects that need substantial funding or would require annexations or other capital resources. So short, medium, and long-term goals, and I would say that it's probably a 0 to 10-year plan for us.
And what's next after this meeting?
Yeah, so we have a steering committee that has been guiding this process for about 2 months now, working with the planning team to get to this point. And so we had about a 4-hour meeting with them this morning to go over some visioning, some goals, some objectives. And so the next step after the consultant team leaves today, the steering committee will meet again with them in October. Council will meet with them in October, and then hopefully in November we'll have a final set of recommendations and policy recommendations for us to start moving forward with in January of 2023.
And if any citizens missed this meeting, wanted to have some input, what do they need to do?
Absolutely. So you can go online and fill out a survey link that will be available after this meeting. We'll be sure to post it on social media, and you can also contact Town Hall to receive more information. And we also have a Text My Gov app where you can download information about West Pelzer and you can receive text updates about the plan and how to comment.
And that survey will be where online? You just go to the...
It'll be on, westpelzer.com is where you can go and access that survey.
My name is Catherine Amadon, and I'm an environmental planner with Bolton and Mink.
Tell me what y'all are asked to do for West Pelzer.
So we were tasked with looking at their zoning ordinance, which is dated, it's from 1999, and coming up with recommendations for how to improve it and also make sure that the language in that ordinance supports where their comprehensive plan wants them to go and where the downtown master plan wants them to go. The downtown master plan isn't as dated, but we are updating it as part of this process. And today is our first public engagement that we're doing. So we've got a survey, we've got some little stations that folks can move through and provide us feedback. And so that process will also help inform the zoning ordinance updates.
What general categories have y'all identified for improvement?
There have been several that have been identified. One of the key ones that we've just heard from our steering committee and also the public today is the importance of community and holding on to that cozy aspect that West Pelzer has, being able to walk down the street, know your neighbor, caring for your neighbor. So just making it easier to do that, whether that's through better connectivity with sidewalks or just getting more places for folks to gather. There's a really good core right in the downtown with Chapman Park and the Tap House and a few restaurants that kind of have become a destination for folks both inside and outside West Pelzer, but just increasing the ability to have interactions with your neighbors is definitely key. We've also heard that there's a lot of truck traffic coming through downtown, and so maybe making it a little bit safer through some traffic calming devices has also come up. Oh, okay, good, yeah. So another key component that has come out of several actually past studies and has echoed even today with our steering committee and the public is the importance to the connection to the Saluda River. It's right around the corner, and there isn't a direct connection for folks that live in West Pelzer to safely get there in any other way other than a car. So kind of getting creative with how folks can interact with that beautiful resource that's right up the road. So that's definitely one that's come up. Folks really love trees here. We've really enjoyed, our team did a drive through, and there's so many big heritage trees. So looking into the tree ordinance and seeing if it is really echoing what people want to see. So that's definitely been important. No, I'm not surprised, mostly because we worked with the town on picking a time that would hopefully be most optimal. It's always hard, right? Everybody's busy, and so we're hoping that folks are engaged, and then we're going to leave some of the surveys behind with the town administrator and the mayor so that they can pass them out. People can fill them out over the next couple of weeks, and we'll be able to pick them up for folks that weren't able to make it tonight.
And once all the information is gathered and you come back and you present to the town and the council, how soon could they start implementing a new plan?
Yeah, so that's always the question, right? Planning is so much fun, but where does the digging in the ground actually happen? So that'll be really dependent on how we prioritize these projects and the cost of those projects. And so part of what we're doing is getting feedback on where everybody's priorities lie, whether that's the steering committee that we're working with or the public, ranking those, kind of doing some high-level cost estimate for projects that are really concrete in scope. Those that aren't, we'll suggest that somebody scopes those out and comes up with a fee for them. And then it's really getting creative with funding. You know, West Pelzer has been really thoughtful with their public-private partnerships and getting creative with how they get the job done with projects. So the Municipal Center right across the street is a really good example of leveraging different funding sources, and so we're going to help identify potential grants also for some of these projects that may be a local grant funding source, state, or all the way to the federal level. So once we can prioritize and identify some funding sources, then the council can decide, okay, this is what we're going to attack in this next fiscal year. This is more of a 5-year plan, and kind of outline how to implement some of these suggestions.
And I'm sure y'all have done this with other towns and other areas. What kind of response have you had and success have you had in the past with towns working with you?
So the success really comes from getting buy-in from the town or city that we're working with and the public, which is why this public engagement is so key. We hate nothing more as consultants to put a plan together and then it just sit on a shelf and collect dust. And so the success really comes from buy-in from everybody that's part of the process. And so we're engaging folks as much as we can so that buy-in gives the impetus for folks to push forward and make sure that these ideas get implemented.